Hey guys, welcome to a new video. I'm Sasha and this is my channel, obviously. And I just wanted to say a big welcome to all of the new subscribers that have found me through my creative journaling videos. I also do artwork. That's the main thing that I do, is painting, drawing, and so that's what you'll see in this video. And I'm sorry if you can hear my cat eating. She's right, her food area is right next to me, so she's just chomping down on some kibbles. And yeah, so anyway, back to the video. In this video, I'm going to be working on 4 pieces for Bun's April Art Challenge. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish the challenge. I'm pretty sure actually that I'm not going to be able to, because I have some other projects that are coming up. But I had a lot of fun working on these 4 pieces. And since this is a long video, I'm going to be dipping in and out with my commentary. I'm not really sure how that's going to go, but I'm just going to wing it like I usually do. And yeah, so for this first piece, the prompt was mushroom, and I was very tempted to just draw some like funky looking mushrooms, but I was like, no, I'm going to do something different and crazy. And so the first thing that came to my mind was to draw a person with a really long tongue and with a mushroom on the tip of it. Don't ask me where that idea came from. It was totally random, but I quite like how this turned out. One thing that I noticed with all of my pieces was that I pretty much did a purpley blue background on all of them, which I guess I'm really fond of doing that in my background, so I'm definitely going to have to change things up in my next few pieces, because that's becoming a bit of a habit, or a crutch maybe. So yeah, I need to work on that. So anyway, inking this piece was took a while, mostly because I had to, I felt like the line work needed to be thin in some areas and then thicker in other areas. Like, I wanted the line art on the tongue to be thin, and then I wanted the line art on the hair to have a lot of different weights in different areas. And so I ended up using a tiny micron for the tongue and like drawing the face, and it was kind of hard to draw on this paper with the micron, even though it's I think it's Strathmore hot press paper, and I think it's their highest quality hot press paper, and it's pretty smooth, but it's not as smooth as Arches in my opinion. But anyway, sometimes I felt like I was just scratching my pen against the paper. It could have been the pen, to be honest. I might need to buy some new microns, I'm not sure, but anyway, it was kind of a long process trying to get the line work right. And yeah, so so please continue watching while I finish up the line work on this piece, and I will be right back when I have something to say. So here I am just signing the back of the piece. I do that because I often forget to actually sign the artwork, and so I try to do it when I'm inking the piece, just so that I remember. Because in case someone buys it, if I sent the piece unsigned, that wouldn't be very cool. So yeah, I try to remember to sign it when I'm inking. And now I'm just taping the piece down. This is something that I did with all 4 pieces, and it just makes sure that it leaves a white border around the actual artwork. And now I'm going in with a nice brown for her skin color, and I really love how the first layer of this goes down, but then I decided that I wanted her lips to kind of blend into the rest of her skin. And unfortunately, as you can see there, the watercolor is granulating the right word, or kind of like spreading out, and so I didn't want that to happen, so I added some more watercolor on top, and it's still not a flat brown across her whole face, but I think it turned out really well. Now I believe I'm mixing her lip color, and I used the same color around her eyes. Oh, and I went for a peachy color for her tongue, because I wanted the reds in this to be different from each other. The reds that I used on her face are cool reds, whereas the reds on the tongue are warm reds. So with her hair, I wanted it to be multicolored and kind of futuristic and funky looking. Sorry. And I kind of imagined that she had a wavy mohawk or something, and that she had like the sides of her head shaved, even though you can't really see it in the picture. But that's kind of how I imagined the rest of her would go. And I loved adding in the hot pink. That's the Jane Davenport mermaid marker, I think. Let me check. I always forget what it's called. It's called Starfish something. Oh, it's just called Starfish. So yeah, so I just used that in the hair, and it really pops and adds that bit of brightness that I feel like the piece needed. I also wanted to mention that I tried something different when I drew the eyes. Obviously there's a double set of eyes there, but I tried to draw the eyes on more of an angle than I usually do, because I kind of have a bit of an issue with drawing eyes in a profile view. So I kind of just wanted to try what I saw another artist doing. I can't remember who it was, but they had the eyes kind of angled down. And I think that looks a bit more realistic. It's definitely something I need to work on more, but I think it was pretty successful here. And her little eye, the bottom eye, actually has kind of like a cat slit, like a vertical slit like a cat instead of a human's iris. And I thought that was kind of a neat touch. So here I am adding some hints of white gouache. I mostly use M-gram gouache, but I also have Arteza gouaches too, and I'd love to get some Holbein gouache in the future because the color range looks amazing, and I just love all those pastel colors. Oh, I would love to get some, but you know how it is. Art supplies is pricey, so you gotta wait. But yeah, this piece is, I think it's pretty much done. Did I forget to color in the mushroom? Oh my god. Am I gonna do it now? I think I forgot to color in the mushroom. Wow, just noticing that now. Go me. Anyway, maybe I'm gonna look at the original right now and see if I colored it in. Oh, I did color it in. Okay, forget that. Oh, and you can see it on the screen. I did actually color it in. My bad. So anyway, now I'm adding some white dots to kind of have that tongue texture that you have on the top of your tongue. And so these are all 4 pieces that I had sketched out and inked. And I decided for the male prompt to draw a little alien creature, and he's standing on a bunch of parcels and envelopes, and I just thought he was super cute. I don't usually draw in this style, but lately I've been having a lot of fun experimenting with different styles and stuff. Although I need to say, I think that skeleton hand at the bottom might have been something that I saw Bun do. I can't remember totally, and I really should have checked when I had thought about it in my head that she had done something similar. But yeah, so that might have been something that I saw her do, and subconsciously kind of did it myself without thinking. But it was a lot of fun looking up the reference for the hand and getting the bones all right and everything. And some of them I kind of guessed, especially in the palm of the hand, because it was kind of hard to see all the details. And so yeah, that's probably the first skeletal hand I've ever drawn, which is kind of neat. So another thing that was really fun about this piece was coming up with all of the different envelope designs. I mail out packages fairly often whenever I get sales and stuff, and also my mom has a business as well, and so we mail out a lot of packages with that business too, and the different businesses use different envelopes depending on what we're sending out, so I'm pretty familiar with the different types of envelopes that are out there. And so that was a lot of fun, kind of bringing something from my real life onto artwork. So envelopes don't really vary, I guess, that much in color, like the yellowy brown ones, but like most of them are kind of craft or yellow. But I decided for interest I was going to use a bunch of different ranges of browns for the different parcels and envelopes, just to make it more interesting. So guys, now we're on to the last two pieces. These pieces are probably my favorite out of the four. I really love in this one in particular how the line art turned out on her hair. I really love the varied line weights and it just looks so pretty to me. And in a way, well, the prompt was rainbow, and so I decided instead of drawing a rainbow, I'd do rainbow hair. And I do like how it turned out, but I kind of wish that I had been able to use a different color scheme because personally I just would have probably preferred that. But I went with the rainbow color scheme and I think it turned out really, really cool. And yeah. So here I am. I mixed a different color, different skin color, and I usually mix those from scratch. I use Naples Yellow by Sennelier kind of as the base, and then I add red and what kind of red is it? I think it's a cool red. Anyway, I add a little bit of that, and then I'll add a little bit of ultramarine blue to desaturate the skin tone. And yeah, and that's kind of how I do it. And then if I'm doing darker skin tones, then I use more browns in the skin. But you can also just darken the skin by using more ultramarine blue and just playing with how much yellow, red, and blue you have in there. And yeah, so anyway, I used that super, super hot pink in her hair. Love it. It just pops so much. And I didn't really go with like the Roy G. Biv rainbow in order colors. I kind of just put the colors wherever I thought they would look best and really just went for it and did whatever I wanted, which is always cool, right? So yeah, I just played around with the colors and I really love how it turned out. Something that was kind of frustrating during this painting process, and I only really noticed it when I was looking over the video during the editing, was that I hadn't closed the blinds and the sun was streaming in, it was setting, and so it left this kind of, as you can see, the light marks from the blinds across the table. And so that was kind of frustrating because I would have liked to have the full video of how everything was like coming together in the painting, but I'll just have to try and be more aware of that next time. So yeah, that was just a little bit frustrating. Alright, so now I'm on the last piece, and I call her my no girl. Can you guess why? And the whole No Girl thing is inspired by Loish. She's an artist, an amazing, super well-known artist, and she's done this series of no girls, and I just love the idea of like a girl just being like, yep, no, about like anything you ask her about. And so I kind of just drew that on her forehead, and the theme or prompt for this one was stitches, so I put some stitches across her mouth. And maybe there's some hidden symbolism there about the stitches across her mouth, not speaking, and kind of just putting her thought right on her forehead. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking, there might be something super deep about this piece. Oh my goodness. So I kind of mixed another skin color and then just added that, and then I left the white areas for the highlights on her cheeks. And yeah, so I just painted all of her skin this color and kept going. So once again, I went with my purplish blue background, and I knew when I made this piece that I wanted there to be a really strong purple kind of color in it, and I also wanted her hair to be dark. And you'll see when I was painting the hair, I was kind of having a value issue between the hair and the background color, because I wanted both to be kind of dark and purplish. And so I ended up fixing the issue by adding some different colors of gouache in there on top, specifically the Arteza, I think it's called soft peach or light peach or something. It's really an opera pink. And so I just added some of that on top, and I also mixed another color before that with the gouache, with two of the gouaches, and I forget what that mixture was, and those kind of went underneath, and then the opera pink went on top. So here's the part where I'm mixing those two colors together to add some more color variation in her hair and set it apart from the background. And I think I mixed a purple and the opera pink. And then it wasn't standing out enough, so I actually went in with the opera pink and added it by itself on top, and it stands out a lot more in person. But yeah, it really added that extra detail that I needed for it to be separated from the background. So one thing that I noticed in this piece and in a sketch that I have going right now for a future painting, one thing that I noticed was that I've been drawing eyes different sizes, which is really frustrating because sometimes I don't notice it at first, and it was near the end of this piece, I was like, when I colored in her irises, I was like, wow, one is a lot bigger than the other. And I realized that the one eye was bigger than the other eye. So I kind of masked that by putting some white gouache highlights across both irises, and I think that helped a bit, but I definitely need to work on that and be more careful with the eyes. Sometimes, mostly when I'm doing bigger paintings, like 12 by 16 inch paintings, I usually use Procreate to do my sketch on, and then I print it onto the large watercolor paper, because it's just easier for me to sketch at a smaller size and have it bigger printed out on the paper, so that less errors happen if I freehand drew it right on the paper myself. So it's kind of a little cheat, but it works for me. And so one of the cool things about working digitally is you can just duplicate an eye and then switch it like horizontally or vertically, and just place it on the other side so it's perfect. And so I don't always do that, but sometimes I do that. And so sometimes when you cheat, you aren't paying attention when you're just sketching the thing without a program, and you make like weird mistakes like that. Another mistake that happened in this piece was the right side of her, not her chin, kind of like her jaw, like our right side looking at the piece, it's at too much of a slant compared to the other side, and I didn't notice that either. And so these are the little things that irk artists when they're working on pieces, and you know, you think you have everything right, but then when you're adding color, when you're working on it, you realize I made a mistake here, 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 here. But you know, I try not to get too frustrated by it, because in the end, it's all part of the artistic process. We're all constantly learning, experimenting, trying new things, and that's just how it is if you're an artist, and how it is in a lot of jobs and careers and things that you do. You're gonna make mistakes, and it's best to accept that and just always try your best and work harder on the next piece. So yeah, here's where I added the gouache highlights, which I think helped. Oh no, sorry. This was me adding the gouache highlights on the cheeks, because I kind of covered the white areas with paint when I didn't mean to. But going back to the eyes, I ended up wiping out the right eye blue color, because I felt like it was too obvious that the eyes were different sizes, so I changed the color and made it a different color. I don't know if that helped, but I think it looks cool. And then here's where I added the white highlight, and I feel like it kind of masked the different size a bit, maybe. I don't know, maybe. And yeah, so then I added some copper candles paint by Designs by Rachel Beth. It's a handmade paint. I love it. It's super metallic and pretty. And yeah, I guess the piece is done now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one, and I hope my commentary was interesting. And let me know which piece is your favorite. I'd love to know. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. All these pieces are for sale on my Etsy shop. And I'll have the links all below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out, guys.